Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are so glad that you could join us once again for our English News Edition. I'm Daniel Cook, your host, 6 days a week at 6 p.m., keeping you updated with the latest happenings here in Albania. In today's news, the Socialist Party has publicized a list of candidates who will be running for mayor in 7 municipalities of the country. The candidates are for Fier, Durrës, Elbasan, Korça, Shkodra, Dibër, and Kukës. Prime Minister Rama held meetings with the MPs of each of these cities, and after the meetings, the MPs revealed the names of the candidates in their areas. The MPs expressed great satisfaction with their selections. In fact, the only MP who is not satisfied by the consultations with the Prime Minister was Ben Belushi. After the meeting, he said to the media that this was the end of a process that was not really a process at all. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is saying that the candidates for the municipality of Tirana and several other cities will be made public by next week. When asked about the disagreements that he had with the Socialist Party MP Ben Belushi, Prime Minister Rama said, I had a lot of meetings today in which we had a lot of discussions. I do not remember any specific debate with one of the MPs. The chairman of the Democratic Party, Xhelal Basha, held a meeting today with the residents of Kruja. Mr. Basha listened to the concerns of the citizens, especially those about the price of energy. He also made a statement in response to the charges of the Interior Minister against him over the events of January 21st. He said, "These charges are an attempt to distract the citizens' attention from their problems. Yesterday in Parliament, they rejected our proposal for a reduction of the energy price. Their candidate for the municipality of Kruja is Mr. Cocaine." Later, the Democratic chairman spoke about the conditions that the Democratic candidates must meet in order to be mayors in the future. He presented a 3-point contract with the citizens and said that no Democratic candidate could be accepted without agreeing to this contract. The points of the contract are as follows. The Democratic candidates must not have criminal records, they must reduce taxes for 4 years, and they must pledge to listen to the concerns of the citizens. The Tirana court has sentenced the mayor of Kamza to 2 years in state prison. Mayor Xhelal Mziu was accused by the prosecution of abuse of tenders and dereliction of duty. The mayor's lawyer says that this is not the last word, and they will appeal the sentence. He said, "The ruling was not a fair one. This is not a final decision, and we will appeal it. This will not stop my client from running for the municipality of Kamza. We call on the politicians to stay away from this process and not to influence the court," said the lawyer. Before the session began, Mr. Mziu declared that he will run again for the mayor of Kamza and that he will obtain the votes of both the right and left-wing parties. The court of Tirana has also sentenced the tax director of Kamza to 6 months in prison and gave the same sentence to the municipality lawyer. They were both found guilty of dereliction of duty. Another court session was held today in the lawsuit that the Prime Minister has filed against the head of the Democratic group, Adi Paloka. The Prime Minister has charged Paloka with slander. Mr. Paloka says that he has requested a drug test for the Prime Minister and telephone recordings since January 21st of 2011. Paloka emphasized that the offensive statements of the Prime Minister will be used as evidence against him in court. He said, "I requested the telephone recordings of the Prime Minister to prove that he has communicated with criminals. Today, I submitted some of the slanderous statements of the Prime Minister to Parliament. In the statements, he accused the opposition of being connected to crime. I submitted them in order to show how much of a hypocrite this Prime Minister is," said Paloka. A large increase has been noticed in the number of Albanians who are applying for biometric passports. The Ministry of Internal Affairs believes that this influx is occurring because people are hoping to apply for asylum in the EU countries. To address this issue, the Ministry of Interior Affairs issued a press release today, urging the citizens to refrain from taking such action. The ministry gave warnings of the heightened control measures at all border crossing points. The citizens who are seeking to travel especially to the Shenzhen area, will have to explain their itinerary in detail. They will have to include the purpose of their travel and provide guarantees of responsibility from their hosts in the destination country. Finally, the ministry says that in cooperation with internal partners, there will be punitive measures against all Albanian citizens who abuse the right to travel to the Shenzhen area. The World Bank has given a loan of €65.9 million to Albania in order to improve the road safety. Considering the intended purpose of this funding, the World Bank has asked the government to organize a proper and appropriate budget for their infrastructure projects. The representative states that the level of the road accidents in Albania is concerningly high. She said, "We consider infrastructure to be an important sector for the well-being of the citizens. I have to mention some challenges that Albania faces in this sector. First of all, the government must organize a proper budget. The second important thing is to avoid delayed payments of their infrastructure debts. Also, special efforts must be made to decrease the high number of accidents, because they are 10 times higher than in Europe and 2 times higher than the rest of the region," she said. The Minister of Transport, Edmond Hajanasto, emphasized the fact that the Albanian road network needs more funding in order to be maintained. The loan will have a duration of 22.5 years, coming due on December 31st, 2021. This weekend offers a variety of cultural activities in Tirana for both adults and children. The comedy play Vanya, Sonia, Masha, and the Other will return to the National Theater on April 10th, 11th, and 12th at 7 p.m. The comedy has won multiple awards around the world. The experimental theater continues to show the play Arturo Ui, and the show begins at 8 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. Also this month, the Theater of Opera and Ballet has dedicated activities to the youth. The agenda includes concerts, ballets, and musicals from Albania's rich folklore. Thanks to the program Education Through Art, the renowned tale of Cinderella will be coming for the first time as a musical ballet, and it is designed for the younger audience. Also this week, the Puppet Theater is giving performances of The Forest Appeal at 10:30 and 11:30 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. The Millennium Cinema is showing The Fast and the Furious 7, a film that is dedicated to the actor Paul Walker, who passed away in 2013. That concludes our news for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Please be with us again tomorrow at the same time for more Albanian news in English. Have a great night.